In this video, we're going to show you how you can use the Data Join wizard to add external data into your mapping layers. So in this example here, we've got a map of all the countries in the world, and if we look at some of the data on our layer, we've got all the normal stuff you would expect, such as name, acreage, country code, currency, etc. But let's say that we want to add some additional data here. Like the per capita GDP for 2011, because maybe we've been tasked for building a map to color the countries by the per capita GDP. Well, to do this, you would use the Data Join wizard. So go to the Tools tab and then click on the Data Join wizard here, and this will step you through all the various operations needed to add the data to your map layer. So the first thing you need to do is just choose the layer you want to join your data on. So in this case, we're just going to choose countries. And then you go to Next. Next, you need to choose your file that has the external data you want to join in with. So this will be a delimited file. In our case, it'll be a comma delimited file. And so you'll just browse to this on your file system. And here I've got a CSV file that contains the 2011 GDP per capita for most of the countries in the world. And then you just hit Next, and here's where you select how the map layer and your data in your CSV file are joined together. So you can view the layer in both of these files. In our case, I have an ISO 3-digit identifier for the countries in my country map layer, and in the delimited file I have a country code, which is 3 digits that signifies the country as well. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Next now, and here's where you can configure what your output of your layer wants to be. So this will show all the columns for both the layer and the delimited file. So let's pick all the columns from the original layer and add them, and then let's pick the 2011 GDP and add it to the bottom of there, since that's really the only extra data we care about. Now you have an option down here of features to include, and you can say include all features from the layer, so that way it would return all the countries even if nothing's found in our GDP file, or only include features from the layer that match a row in the delimited file. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this option selected because I only want the country to be on my new layer if there's a match in the delimited file. Then you just go ahead and hit Next, and here you can choose where you want to output your results to. You could just add it to the map as like a temporary layer. So let's just call this countries GDP. Or if you want to output it to the file system as a shapefile, you can do that as well and just browse to where you want to save that. Then just go ahead and click Finish. And once the operation is done, you'll get a task completed dialog. And you can go ahead and hit Yes if you'd like to add it to the map. And now you can see we have a new layer here, and most of the countries have been populated. You can see there's one here in Africa that is not, so that must not have been included in our file, and also some here in Eastern Europe as well. So now let's take a look at the data for our given layer, and if we scroll over to the right, you'll see now we have a new column for 2011 GDP. And so this can be very useful if you want to add external data to do other types of rendering and things on your layer. So now I could set up a class break render to color the countries by the different GDP values if I wanted. So this can be a very helpful tool in doing a lot of data analysis. Well, I hope this video gives you an overall summary of how you can use the Data Join wizard. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask us or post it on our discussion forums. Thank you.